Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in good spirits wherever you are in the world. And today, Criterion has just made its announcement for the other planned releases that it has for August 2020. So I have here the Criterion website. So I suggest if you're interested, please take a look at the website for more information about what it is I'm about to talk about, which are the planned August 2020 releases from the Criterion collection. Now, as some of you may know, Criterion very recently made its announcement with respect to this particular release, which is the Agnes Varda box set, which is going to be fantastic, a monumental release from Criterion, once again in August. So if you are interested in a video discussion of my reaction to this particular release, planned release, then please check out the separate video on my reaction to the announcement regarding this particular Agnes Varda box set from Criterion. I'll leave a link in the description box below. But for today, I'd like to talk about the other releases from Criterion that were just announced. And once again, these are planned to be for August 2020. Now, I'm going to show you some artwork as well from the website itself, but my presentation skills are very poor, so I apologize. As always, I apologize in advance. I suggest to check out the Criterion website directly for better quality pictures in case you're interested in looking at the cover art, as well as better descriptions and more detailed descriptions of technical specifications, special features, discussion, descriptions of the films, etc. So once again, please check out the Criterion website directly for more information. But first, let us now talk about the Criterion collection releases that are planned for August 2020, other than the Varda box set. So the first is planned for release on August 4th, 2020. This is a film which is called The Lost Honor of KATHARINA BLUM. Now, we should be absolutely clear. This film currently exists in the Criterion collection on a DVD under spine number 177, and the DVD is right here. And this is a very tough, harrowing film, and very important, very difficult, and very important in a lot of places. And it has a certain resonance that I think is very palpable and very powerful, and quite powerfully relevant even today. And so Lost Honor of KATHARINA BLUM is an astonishing work, very powerful, it's very difficult, but I think well worth it in terms of the content and its importance. So this is great to have in terms of a Blu-ray upgrade, which is what this appears to be, and it looks like we are dealing also with a new 4K digital restoration as well. So let me just say that the DVD, which is what I have here, again, spine number 177, and this is from 1975. This is really good. This is a really good DVD presentation, so it has some nice supplements as well, which I'll also get to in a second when we talk about this particular Blu-ray release. But as you can see, we have the cover art here, and then we have new cover art, which is here. And again, please look at the Criterion website itself for better resolution quality pictures. Again, I apologize for my poor presentation, but the Criterion website indicates different cover art than we saw on the Blu-ray. So this is going to look very interesting indeed. Again, there is a very powerful social commentary aspect of this film, and I think that's reflected very nicely in this new design, cover art design, which is going to be for the new release. This is by Joan Wong, according to the website itself. So, and the website indicates for the Blu-ray, new 4K digital restoration, approved by Volker Schlondorf and producer Eberhard Junkersdorf with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. And so this is a new 4K digital restoration, whereas the DVD is indicated as being digital transfer enhanced for 16:9 televisions. And so this is, the DVD description is probably indicating this current DVD, which according to the back says new digital transfer. And so that's what I think that's referring to. So I should also point out that the film info indicates 106 minutes, and that's consistent with the back of this DVD. Color, which is also consistent. 1975, Germany, which is also consistent. The filmmakers Volker Schlondorf and Margarete von Trotta, which is also consistent, of course. The aspect ratio is interesting. Now, the aspect ratio, according to the website, is 1.66 to 1, whereas the aspect ratio, according to the back of this this DVD, is 1.78 to 1. Okay, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for this particular aspect of the release from Criterion in August when it comes. Try to see if we can compare the aspect ratios of the Blu-ray versus the earlier DVD. But according to the website right now, it says 1.66 to 1. Okay, that's interesting. And moving on, we have interview from 2002 with directors Schlondorf and Margarete von Trotta. So this is also very, very important. The interview is one that I believe is going to be that which we also found on the earlier DVD. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same interview. If so, it's a very good one, and it's very important to listen to. So that's good to have. Again, I'm assuming that's going to be the same interview, but we're going to have to check just in case. Then we have an interview from 2002 with director of photography Jost Vacano. And this is, I'm assuming, going to be the same interview which we found on the earlier DVD. So the earlier DVD had that interview, which I'm assuming is going to be the same one which we will find on the Blu-ray in August. So that's very good. Next, we have excerpts from a 1977 documentary on author Heinrich Böll. And this is probably going to be the same which we found again as a supplement to this earlier DVD, because we did have excerpts from the 1977 documentary. So I'm assuming that's going to be the same carryover. If so, that's really good. And then we have a trailer, and then which is something that we found on the earlier DVD. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same trailer, but we'll have to check that just in case. Plus an essay by film critic Amy Taubin for the Blu-ray only. Okay, so that's interesting. So it says Blu-ray only, an essay by film critic Amy Taubin. I should point out, though, that the DVD has an insert like this, which folds out, at least my version does. And it has an essay already, which is called Honoring KATHARINA. And this is actually by Amy Taubin. So we do have an essay in the DVD foldout, which is by Amy Taubin. But it says in the special features, an essay by film critic Amy Taubin, in parentheses, Blu-ray only, which is suggesting that the DVD does not include such essay. But the DVD that I currently have with this insert does have an essay called Honoring KATHARINA by Amy Taubin. So this might be a new essay for the Blu-ray. I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to change the DVD booklet. I don't know. I don't know what this means. Maybe this is something that maybe needs to be corrected on the website. Who knows? I'm not sure exactly what this means. But in any event, please note that the current DVD, at least the one that I have, does have the essay called Honoring KATHARINA by Amy Taubin. So maybe this might be a new essay for the Blu-ray, who knows. In any event, we should check this when the new Blu-ray arrives, but it is a very good essay in the current DVD, just for your information, if you are interested. So this is The Lost Honor of Katharina Blum, which is spine number 177, which again is currently in the Criterion collection as this DVD, but it's going to be interesting to see this emerge again, this time on a Blu-ray, when August arrives. So this is, once again, The Lost Honor of Katharina Blum. Next, scheduled for release on August 18th, 2020, from 1979, for spine number 1039. This is from filmmakers Chris Hedges and D.A. Pennebaker. The film is Town Bloody Hall. This is an interesting one. I haven't seen this in such a long time. I saw this on VHS, and so this is something that I haven't seen. I wasn't expecting this at all, but this is an interesting film. And if you haven't seen it, I think you're in for a real interesting treat in terms of this particular setting that was being depicted, and a kind of debate that was going back and forth. At the center of the debate was Norman Mailer, and it was a really fascinating portrayal of this debate in terms of kind of masculine, feminine ideas and philosophies and norms, and certain debates surrounding those norms, etc. And it was quite a revealing, very engaging work. And so I'm so interested to see this back, or not see this back, but see this in the Criterion collection, and to be able to see this once again. As I said, I haven't seen this in such a long time, but it'll be really wonderful to revisit this once again. Wow, this is really interesting. Very interesting. Town Bloody Hall. And that cover art, Ephron Miller did the cover art for this. Wow, what an interesting... This is an interesting release from the Criterion collection. Pleasantly surprised. So, I haven't seen this in such a long time, so it'll be good to revisit this. And so, speaking of the... and I like the way that the Criterion collection is describing this. Part intellectual deathmatch, part three-ring circus. And the proceedings were captured with crackling fly-on-the-wall immediacy by the documentary great D.A. Pennebaker and a small crew, with Chris Hedges later condensing the 3.5-hour affair into this briskly entertaining snapshot of a singular cultural moment. Oh, yes. Okay, so according to the website, we have director-approved special edition features. So, new 2K digital restoration supervised by director Chris Hedges with uncompressed monaural soundtrack on the Blu-ray. Wow, this is going to look amazing. I can't wait for this. This is going to look really amazing. Then new interview with Hedges, which is, that's going to be great as well. And then audio commentary from 2004 featuring Hedges and author Germaine Greer. Great. So this says 2004. Now, I'm not familiar. I admit I'm not familiar with the release history of this particular film. As I say, I saw it many years ago, but I don't own it. And so if this is on DVD, or this was on DVD, or this was released in 2004 with an audio commentary, that's very interesting, because I've never heard the audio commentary track. So this is something that I have to listen and study. So this is going to be something great for me. Oh, this is wonderful. So I haven't heard this audio commentary track. So once again, from 2004. Next, we have footage from a 2004 celebration of the film, which brought together participants Greer, Jacqueline Ceballos, and Jill Johnston, and directors Hedges and D.A. Pennebaker. This is really great because I haven't seen this either, and so again from 2004. So I really have to see this. So this is going to be very interesting. And then appearance from 1971 on the Dick Cavett Show by author Norman Mailer, promoting his book The Prisoner of Sex. And then archival interviews with Greer and Mailer, English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, plus an essay by film critic Melissa Anderson. Wow, this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. And so, as I say, if you haven't seen this film, you are in for a really captivating watch indeed. Again, this is quite the documentary, and I haven't seen this in such a long time, but it'll be so great to revisit this. This is really wonderful. So once again, this is scheduled for release August 18th, August 18th, 2020. And this is from 1979, spy number 1039. This is the film Town Bloody Hall. Next, scheduled for release August 18th, 2020. This is from 1990. This is from filmmaker Paul Schrader. And this is spy number 1041. The film is The Comfort of Strangers. Very, very interesting. Now, once again, for better quality pictures, I urge you to take a look directly at the Criterion website for pictures of the cover art. This is very interesting. But this film, The Comfort of Strangers, is one that I also was not expecting. This is a work by Paul Schrader, and it's a very interesting, peculiar work by Paul Schrader. You know, if you haven't seen the film, and if you're interested in the works of Paul Schrader, this might be worth checking out. This is a film that is with Natasha Richardson and Helen Mirren and Rupert Everett and Christopher Walken, and it's a very peculiar, unique, quite atmospheric, quite disturbing in a lot of aspects. And it's a drama. I guess it's about, I don't want to say too much, but it's about relationships and the effects on relationships from the outside, but also how that is reflective of something that might be indicative of some kind of internal strife or struggle or dynamic in particular relationships. And also there is so much more to this particular story in terms of how should I put it, a sort of almost a thriller or horror element to the film and its proceedings, but it's quite a peculiar work and a very interesting one. And so for anyone who's interested in a further exploration of the works of Paul Schrader, this work is certainly one that should be a stop on one's journey along the way. Very, very interesting, as I say, quite tense in a lot of places, but that's, I think, a very good thing. And so it'll be great to see Criterion release this in August. You know, this was released by the BFI, as some of you may know, on a pretty good release, and so this is very interesting. But let's see what this has. So this is, according to the special features, this says new restored 4K digital transfer, supervised by cinematographer Dante Spinotti with uncompressed monaural soundtrack on the Blu-ray. Okay, so this is very interesting. So we can see that there will probably be some difference in picture quality with this particular Blu-ray. So we'll have to check this out and see how it compares to earlier releases. So very interesting indeed. Then we have new interviews, great, with Spinotti, director Paul Schrader, actor Christopher Walken, and editor Bill Pankow. So this is also great. So these are indicated as new. So we have what we assume to be Criterion produced supplements. So that's really wonderful. So I'm looking forward to that. And then interviews from 1981 and 2000 with novelist E. McEwen and actor Natasha Richardson. So this is very important because, as some of you may know, E. McEwen wrote the story that became the basis for the film. So E. McEwen's input is quite significant here. And also Natasha Richardson, as you know, also appears in the film in a very key, prominent role. And so this will be really good to watch. And then the trailers and English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, plus an essay by critic Maitland McDonough. Oh, that's interesting. So really big fan of Maitland McDonough, so it'll be good to have that essay. And we don't have any other features, so for anyone who might have the BFI release, probably you should hold on to that. Again, wait until this particular Criterion release emerges in case you want to compare it. But there's no, for instance, there's no commentary track from Paul Schrader, etc. There's going to be a new interview with Paul Schrader, according to the supplements. But yes, so there's no commentary track, for example. But so that's something to keep an eye out for when we examine this particular Criterion release in August and maybe do a comparative analysis with any past releases of this film. But in any event, my friends, we are getting what's purported to be a new 4K digital transfer, and so the image quality is something we should keep an eye out for. Would this, again, I'm just looking at this based off of what I'm seeing now, and again, my own reactions. It would have been nice perhaps to have a commentary track as well, but we'll see what the interviews have to say, and maybe those interviews will be enough sustenance. I mean, usually the Criterion interviews without commentary tracks do provide sustenance for great illuminative and informative experiences. So I'll trust Criterion for its interviews. But again, that's something to keep in mind in terms of whether or not one wants to get this particular Criterion release or one wants to rely on, say, earlier past releases of this same film. Again, it's up to you, of course. But in any event, this, as I say, is a work that I think is of different tones and of a certain type of feel and atmosphere that is quite tense and somewhat unsettling, but it makes for a quite compelling watch, and so it'll be good to see this again on Criterion. So once again, this is from Paul Schrader from 1990, spine number 1041. This is the film The Comfort of Strangers, and scheduled for release on August 25th, 2020. This is from 1935 from filmmaker Jean Renoir for spine number 1040. This is Jean Renoir's work, TONI. This is also something that is quite unexpected, and I am absolutely thrilled that this is coming to the collection. The artwork, once again, please take a look at the artwork on the Criterion website for more information. This is really quite stunning. I'm stunned. And this had been released, for instance, on, as some of you may know, on DVD, Eureka Masters of Cinema DVD. But to have it here in the Criterion collection like this is just splendid. It's a film that is known, I think, for its sort of visual style and kind of rugged, realistic approach. Some, I think, have used the phrase a precursor for neo-realism. And I think a lot of that is true in terms of the use of actors or non-actors or non-professional actors, the use of location shooting, sound, etc. And there's also here a very earthy quality, but also a very compelling human drama story. I mean, this is very, very compelling. And so to have this here, again, this very important, significant Jean Renoir work that is doing many things, and that is also at its core a very compelling human drama that is shot in a significant way. This is a very big deal, and so this is really wonderful to have. Wow, I'm just stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. But let's see what the Criterion Collection release has to offer. And so we have new 4K digital restoration, with uncompressed monaural soundtrack on the Blu-ray. Okay, so new 4K digital restoration. So I Okay, so I haven't seen any digital restored version of this, so this will be something interesting to look out for. Okay, so this is good. And then audio commentary from 2006 featuring critics Kent Jones and Philip Lopate. That's great. So audio commentary from 2006. So that's better than not having any commentary track at all. So that's really wonderful. Really, really wonderful. And then introduction by director Jean Renoir from 1961. Great. Then there's episode of Cinéaste de Notre Temps from 1967 on Renoir, directed by Jacques Rivette and featuring a conversation with actor Charles Blavet about the film. This is great. And the new video essay about the making of Toni by film scholar Christopher Faulkner. So this is new, so I'm assuming therefore that this will be a new Criterion produced supplement, because up to now we've had sort of archival materials or a past commentary track. So this is new video essay, so this will be something to look out for as well. Well done, Criterion. This is going to be great. And then a new English subtitle translation, plus an essay by film scholar Jeanette Vincendeux. So wonderful. I'm a big admirer of the work of Vincendeux, so this is going to be good to have as the essay. So well done, Criterion, well done. This looks to be absolutely splendid. I am very impressed and I'm very happy. So again, if you haven't seen this particular work by Jean Renoir, this will be, I think, a great opportunity to do so. And the supplements look very full and very rich and very filled with information, plus the new video essay, which is something I look forward to very much. So this is scheduled for release August 25th, 2020, the film by Jean Renoir, which is Toni. So, my friends, that is the selection of the planned releases by Criterion for August 2020. And that doesn't include the box set of the works of Agnes Varda. So if you consider that as part of the equation, this is a really interesting month of August. Really interesting month of August indeed. I think perhaps for many people the highlight will be, and I think quite deservingly so, that box set by of the works of Agnes Varda, and that's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I cannot wait to pre-order that one. So I'm looking forward to that very, very much. But as I say, we do have a number of other works in August that look very challenging, very illuminating, quite energetic in some places. I should mention Town Bloody Hall. Wow, I'm looking forward to that one in particular very much. And then we have interesting takes on, as I say, Paul Schrader's own filmography, so The Comfort of Strangers, and then the brilliant Jean Renoir and his work Toni, which is such an important work. And then we have this harrowing film getting the upgrade that it's going to get, The Lost Honor of Katharina BLUM, which is currently on DVD, but will get the Blu-ray upgrade again in August. This is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait. So, my dear friends, what do you think of this particular planned set of releases from Criterion? Are you excited? Are you not excited? In any event, my friends, please let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, I would be very happy to hear what it is you have to say. Okay, my friends, so that's it for now. And so until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great, great movies. Thank you once again for your time, my friends, and cheers.